Now let's talk about what everybody wants me to talk about, and that is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Um, what the fuck do I have to say about Star Wars that hasn't been said already? It's a movie I grew up on. I love Star Wars. I've been hyped about this movie for God knows how long. Probably since its announcement that was being made, and also especially when J.J. Abrams was signed on, and that George Lucas had nothing to do with this. I love, like everybody, the original films. I grew up on them. I actually, it is kind of funny. The special editions have a special place in my heart because I know a lot of people hate those movies, but the special editions, and that's because that was my introduction to Star Wars. I went to the theater and saw them with my dad. I never really had any interest in Star Wars up to that point. Didn't really know what the hell it was. And I did see it, and I fell in love with them. I thought they were awesome. Of course, I hate the prequels. Over time, especially, I've hated the prequels. Episode 1's one of the worst films. I don't have to get into that. I mean, there's plenty of stuff about. So, I was really looking forward to this movie. I'm like, this is the first time in 10 years that I've seen a Star Wars film in theaters. And it's hopefully going to be the first time in 32 years there's been a good Star Wars movies in theater. And of course, part of me, like everybody, was worried. You know, we were giving this movie way too much hype, and I was thinking about Episode 1 and how everybody was hyped for that, and I was worried pretty much up until a couple days ago when the reviews started popping up, and the reviews have been glowing. They've been loving reviews. So, is it worth the hype? I'm gonna tell you right now, this movie, I walked out with a huge smile on my face, goosebumps down my arm. This movie was awesome. I I don't even know, like, it's a movie that I can't highly recommend it more to anybody. Like, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. If you grew up on this shit, you will love this. This movie had me from the word go, from a long time ago in Galaxy Far, Far Away. Just seeing that back on the screen, that brought a smile on my face. And then the opening scroll, even from the opening scroll, it got me. Like, you instantly, like, you're like, yeah, this is a fucking Star Wars film. This is what this, from the opening scroll to the opening scene, you just, like, okay, everything that was wrong with the prequels is gone. Like, the opening scroll wasn't boring. It actually captivated me. Like, okay, what's going, like, I'm interested in how this movie's gonna go. Like, once you learn kind of the basic plot, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. I'm not getting into spoilers on that. See it for yourself. I'm telling you, like, the opening scroll is great. Like, it, like, captures your attention, like, just like that. And then, like, the opening scene, and you're introduced to Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac, who's awesome in this movie. He is a great addition. Who's this great X-Wing fighter, like the best X-Wing fighter in the Resistance, who goes to meet Max von Sydow and stormtroopers, and you also get introduced to the new stormtroopers and Finn and Kylo Ren, and like really great introductions to those characters. But this movie, like I said, as a start, it's really hard to talk about, like, because there's so much I want to talk about, and I don't want to get into spoilers. I'll tell you this right now. It's probably a little late now, but I didn't really get into spoilers. This movie, I'm gonna try to stay away from spoilers because I know everybody, there's a lot of people that still haven't seen it. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna write in my description, if you haven't seen the review or movie yet, watch the review later after you've seen the movie and see what my opinion was, because it's kind of hard not to talk about this movie without getting into some spoilers. The big ones I will keep secret. All right. Anyways, this movie, I love the new leads in this movie. Especially, I feel confident with this series, this whole new trilogy with the leads they got. Daisy Ridley is amazing. This girl really like knocks it out of the park. Like she's a badass chick that is really like holds her own. She's not a damsel in distress. She isn't like Princess Leia, who is really for the most part I know I get shit for that saying that a damsel in distress. Although because how many times did that girl get captured? Like, well, she wasn't the first one. All right, she was basically a damsel in distress in the first one, but became a more stronger character. This is a strong character from the get go. I love that. I love Finn. Like, well, you know, let me look here for a second. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking up something. You got Finn, who's played by, I forget what the hell, how you say his name, John Boyega, who is, this is an introduction to, I think this is one of his first movies, and he's great. His acting is pretty damn solid, and his chemistry between him and Daisy Ridley is really good. They have really good chemistry, and have a hell lot more chemistry than fucking Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman did. And like it is kind of like hints at a love story between the two, which is interesting. A first interracial relationship in a Star Wars movie, that's kind of cool, different. Never seen that before. I get behind that. And he is a very likable character. He's a form like pretty much if you've seen the trailers, he is a stormtrooper who gets a guilt of conscience at the beginning. Like he realizes that what they're doing is pretty fucking wrong. So, because what the stormtroopers do at the beginning is pretty brutal. I give points for this movie. Stormtroopers in this movie are a hell lot more effective than they were in the original trilogy. They couldn't even fucking shoot anything in the original trilogy. They didn't miss their targets, at least in this one. They were pretty more effective, I felt. I at least thought. Yeah, that was. But yeah, like he is a former stormtrooper. Like the trailers have shown, that and it is mostly Rey's story, Daisy Ridley's story, but it also is Finn. He gets a lot of time. He is a likable character. I love BB-8. I really, from the first scene he was in, I adored BB-8. Like he is the new R2D2. And there's this great scene, spoiler alert, that they do meet. Like I was waiting because I knew R2D2 and C3PO are in this movie, but very briefly. And there is a scene where BB-8 meets R2D2, and it's kind of cute. I love BB-8 though. That was a pretty cool robot. I like the little him rolling on a little ball, and like this relationship with him and Rey is pretty damn funny. Really great. It's like I can understand why she would take this damn robot. He's too damn cute. Yeah. Like I said, man, this is movie hard to not get into spoilers. As far as the returning cast goes, this is also for the most part Han Solo's movie. Han Solo kicks. Oh, God, I forget. I forgot to talk about Kylo Ren. One of the best. I love him as a villain. He's intimidating as fuck in this movie. Holy shit, is Kylo Ren intimidating as hell. I heard some people when I was walking out talking about they liked him until he took off his mask. I didn't have a problem with that. He did have maybe a little bit of too much of a baby face for a villain, but I think they're gonna change. I think that's gonna change when the next one comes out. Just saying. Man, it's like I said, it's hard to get talking about without getting into spoilers. But he was intimidating as hell from the opening scene. Like, holy shit, this is a really good villain. Like, it reminded me of Darth Vader and like how intimidating he was, even if he is wearing a paintball mask. It looks like a paintball mask. He is really good villain. I really like. and like you kind of see a lot of like a character arc for him, and there's a lot of still mystery behind. There's a lot of mystery between all the characters, like especially Ray too. I mean, I'm sure everybody's gonna have their speculation about Ray, because they don't really answer many questions about her. So I'm sure next films they will. But Han Solo, like I said, was incredible in this movie. It was amazing to see him back. His interactions with Chewie made me laugh so hard. It got one of the biggest pops of the whole movie when they first popped up. The only other pop that got that big of a pop was when they first showed the Millennium Falcon, which was a great scene. Harrison Ford gets a lot of time to shine in this movie. Out of the three big returning cast, he gets the most screen time. Princess Leia, like Carrie Fisher is great as Princess Leia. She like has very little, but you know her. It's fine for what role she has in, and I won't get into Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill's role. Let's just say he's in this movie very little, but he has a very big. He God damn, it's really hard to talk about again into spoilers, but he has a very important part in this movie, and he's gonna have a bigger role. I can definitely tell you in the future films. I guarantee, especially in the next one. Yeah, like I said, like this whole movie, by the end of it, you're like, it showed a lot of promise. You definitely felt like, okay, this is gonna be a great trilogy once again. We're gonna see another great trilogy from Star Wars. You know, you got all these great characters. Like I said, the fact I can name from the get go, I can name all these goddamn characters like without even having to think about it, is a good sign that like these are great characters because I can remember them the next day or the day after that. I couldn't shit, man, it's really hard. This movie is really goddamn incredible, like visual effects wise, for the most part. Especially when it comes to, sorry, I was checking my phone. Somebody texted on my phone. Especially when it comes to the practical effects. The effects in this movie are incredible. The creatures, the designs, the everything in this movie, the whole world, it looks real, it feels real, it gets you more invested in it. It's not a whole CGI computer generated world or computer generated characters. There are computer generated characters, yes there are, and there are computer generated moments, because it's almost impossible with this movie. And there's even a lot of miniatures in this movie. I even noticed when there were miniatures in this movie, it looked really good. And I really appreciated that, and I'm like, I really hope that they start learning from this movie and go, you know what, practical effects are the way to go. They're, yes, CGI is needed here and there, like especially at this movie, but like with space battles and stuff like that. But it need like I hope this is the way of the future again, that we're going to start seeing more practical effects. Now, I know, God, I know I am glowing about this movie, and I'm going to continue to glow on about this movie, but I would be mentally challenged if I didn't say this movie, if I said this movie was perfect, because it's not. It isn't. Like, there was points after I saw the movie, I was like, I started questioning this or questioning that, and I'm gonna get into some of the ones that bugged me. And if you've seen them, this is probably gonna get into spoiler territory, so warning. All right. One, what was the point of the new Death Star? Like all right. This is getting to full blown spoilers, but there is as you've probably seen in the poster, there is like a hollowed out planet where it's like a giant laser gun is shooting out of it. It's basically the new Death Star that destroys planets. I think it's called Star Killer. And it's honestly, there was no point to this movie, to it being in this movie, really, other than the fact that it looks like the Death Star, and that's about it. You could have took that whole thing, subplot of this new Star Killer thing, and it would have been like the same exact goddamn movie. It kind of just takes focus away from like the main story sometimes. And the other thing is, like, I noticed, one of the things I kept hearing complaints about with this movie was that it was a lot of rehashing of the original film. And like when I was watching this movie, I was on the lookout for that, and I can kind of see why people are bitching about that. But it didn't bother me as much because there was enough changes. Yes, they copied a lot of the same story lines in the first movie. They did. Trust me, they do. Especially the end of this movie. But they make enough changes that it doesn't feel like the exact same film. I'm watching the exact same film. And it didn't bother me as much as like something like Star Trek Into Darkness, where they just basically copy and pasted the end of the Wrath of Khan. It was fine. But at the same time, like, the new Death Star was like, okay, that didn't need to be in there, other than there was a Death Star in the first one, and it kind of it does the exact same thing that the Death Star in this movie did, or that movie did. Also, I know I've heard a couple people mention this. What the hell is up with this Snoke thing? Instead of an emperor in this movie, there's Snoke, who is the supreme chancellor or whatever, and he's supposed to be, like I said, the new emperor. And I remember as soon as I heard that he was being played by Andy Serkis, I kind of got excited. I'm like, cool. I'm like, and you hadn't seen a picture of this guy at all. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm kind of interested in what, is it. I was thinking in my head that it was going to be Andy Serkis, who was this evil Sith Lord, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, this could be kind of cool. I'm like, that could be kind of cool. Nope. It's a big giant who is a Sith Lord and is a hologram and is computer generated. And I sat there going, what? Part of me goes, why, if he's a Sith Lord, why just don't step on all the fucking Jedi? Because he's a giant. Every time there's a hologram, he's a big, giant, hulking thing. And I'm sitting there like, why doesn't he just kill? You could probably just, with his pinky, kill all the fucking Jedi. What is the point of making him a giant? Why didn't they just make Andy Serkis, just show his real face? Make him. Why did they have to make him a computer generated? Why? It's one of those things I kind of said by the end of it. Maybe, this will be improved upon in the other film. So I'm giving it some shadow of a doubt that it'll be improved upon in the other films. So, that's why it didn't bother me as much. Also, there's also another pointless frickin' character in this movie that, got a lot of hype. That Captain Phasma, who's a female stormtrooper with that silver outfit and stuff like that, barely in this damn thing. Maybe she's gonna have a bigger role. I don't know. It's like I said, this movie isn't flawless. It does copy rehash a lot of the same stuff, and there are points where this movie does also copy a lot of the same scenes from the original. There's just key scenes you're like, that was almost shot by shot of a remake of the scene of a scene in the original film. That kind of bothered me a little bit. A little. Yeah. So that's that's as far as the movie goes. I don't want to try to go into too much more. I don't think I have much more else to talk about. I'm going already on 20 minutes, so I don't want to go even longer. Yeah, I can't say enough about this movie. Even though, like I said, it's not perfect. It's a goddamn good movie. It's a great Star Wars movie. It made me excited to be a Star Wars fan again. It did its fucking job, which I think was its job, and it made me forget that the prequels existed. Even though kind of another thing, what is up with the stormtroopers? Are they not clones now? What the hell? I don't know. That's another question I kind of had. They might have said something, but I might have just glossed right over it. But yeah, anyways, it made me happy to be a Star Wars fan again. I was ecstatic by the time the movie was over. I can't wait to see where the series goes from here. You know, it kind of ends in an interesting place, let's just say. But anyways, as far as trailers go, I surprisingly got a lot less trailers than I did still get like 500 trailers, but I didn't get a lot of the ones I expected I would get, which are include not Bat. I got Batman vs Superman. But I didn't get Captain America, and I also didn't get the Star Trek trailer. I was kind of pissed. But I did get X-Men Apocalypse. I'm interested. That movie does look good. It's another Bryan Singer attempt at doing X-Men, and he hasn't done us wrong yet. I really liked the last X-Men movie, so I mean, Days of Future Past was an amazing film. In this one, I'm still very distracted by the fact that Apocalypse does look like Ivan Ooze from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Seriously, that's the first thought I thought of when I saw an image of him. But I kind of it looks kind of. I'm kind of interested in this movie. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. Independence Day Resurgence. No. Basically, Roland Emmerich just is on the impression that bigger is better. I think I swear to God, that might even be a line in the trailer. And I'm just like, this looks stupid. There's no reason to be making a sequel now. What is it? It'll be coming out 20 years after the original. Why make a sequel now? I don't know. I didn't care that much for the original anyways. And because the movie, if I give the movie any props, it's ridiculous. It was a ridiculous movie. It was dumb as hell, but I kind of did enjoy it. I still love that speech that Bill Pullman gives. Bill Paxton, sorry. Bill Pullman, yeah, not Bill Paxton. I keep getting those names, two's names always mixed up. Bill Pullman, his speech is awesome. And they played it in the trailer, but no, it's also got Liam Hemsworth in the lead, and no Will Smith. So yeah, there we go. Warcraft. I never played the games. Have really no interest in this. It looks like your stereotypical fantasy movie, but it does look pretty. I'll give it that. It does look pretty good. It does look pretty, and the effects are pretty good. So it's got that, but I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not in the World of Warcraft. Yeah, and also the last trailer I got was Kung Fu Panda 3. All right. Story time here. So, I had a pretty funny audience, pretty good audience with Star Wars, and one of my highlights was this guy who's behind me, this black guy who's behind me, who, during the Batman vs. Superman trailer, I swear might have jizzed his pants when Wonder Woman popped up. He was like, like this. That was seriously his reaction. I'm not making that up. And then they had the Kung Fu Panda 3 trailer, and oh my god, he thought that was the funniest thing in the world. It made the trailer more funnier than it actually was. I'm still gonna see Kung Fu Panda 3, but I might not even be able to watch that movie. I'll think about that guy. I hope I get to see that movie with that guy. That guy was hysterical. He made that trailer. And then also he had the best comment of the night, where during the movie when Princess Leia gets introduced, he goes, "Shit, she got old." Like he just yelled in the middle of the movie theater, going, "Shit, she got old." That was pretty funny. Apparently, he's not seen Carrie Fisher in 30 years. So yeah, that was pretty funny. But Kung Fu Panda 3, I was like, really, this is the last trailer. But at the same time, you're like, fuck it. Like everybody was getting impatient by that point. Like, they didn't want to see another fucking trailer. I didn't either. Yeah, I'm gonna see it in one way or another. I like Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2, especially 2. This looks like it could be fun. That's as far as trailers go. I gotta get off here. I'm on fucking 25 minutes already talking about Star Wars. So, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. So, anyways, I'll be back next week with... Actually, I won't be back next week because I'll be gone to North Carolina, so I won't be back until the week after that. With Joy, probably The Big Short, and if I can get the Hateful Eight in, I will. But until then, you guys have a Merry Christmas. May the Force be with you. I hope everybody enjoys their Star Wars movie this year, next couple of days. I hope everybody be safe. No shootings, nothing like that. I don't need to hear about that. This is a great time to be a fan of Star Wars. We don't need something ruining our enjoyment out of this. So take care, and I'll see you guys later.